Hey, I want to thank everyone for joining me on this segment here where we're talking about this is the craziest thing to me. I don't, you could live in this world forever and still not see everything and not hear everything. This is the craziest thing to me. I got to tell you this story. So we're going to wait. We're going to try to get our views up and give me about 2 or 3 minutes. Let me grab some water and I'll be right back with you. This story is one you won't want to miss. All right, guys. Thank you very much. I hope everyone's having a pleasant day so far. If not, just keep hoping and keep reaching for the best. All right, I ran across this story and we try to bring you the latest news. I try to keep it kind of diverse in the different type of information we bring you in the news because as everybody knows, I'm in the trucking profession and logistics, but I also try to bring you stories and news that I think are interesting. Truck drivers don't want to hear trucking stories all day. So I try to bring you a little bit of everything to kind of, you know, keep you well informed. But this happened in Arizona on I-40 where a semi truck was carrying 37 pounds of meth. Now, I have no idea if that's a lot of meth. Uh, it did not tell me what the street value of that was. So I'm kind of blind on this article just a little, but I just thought it was so intriguing and so interesting that some people do the dumbest things. And when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. That's just the way it is. So, every day thousands of semi trucks travel the American highways and roads. And, we depend on, truckers for everything from food to medicine to building materials to cars to electronics, everything that you can put your hands on. Um, for the most part, we depend on truckers to give us these items, and every once in a while, law enforcement will pull over a truck carrying something very different besides those types of items. And I'm talking about drugs. Okay. And that's exactly what happened here on Interstate 40 in Arizona. So here's the story, guys. All right, let's just jump right into it, man. Um, According to the Apache County Sheriff's Office, this began on June the 14th. Okay. So a sergeant assigned to the Special Crimes Enforcement Team stopped a semi truck while it was traveling down I-40 going I-40 East in Arizona. So when the officer first stopped the semi truck driver, it just looked like a normal, traffic stop. But as the deputy spoke with the driver, they noticed that they started getting several red flags and several indicators of possible criminal attitude. And I mean, police are thinking that when they walk up to you in the first place, they're thinking in their mind, what's wrong, you know, instead of, okay, this is an honest Joe. They're all, to me, I don't know. I'm not a police officer. I never have been, but it seems like they have the mentality of to look for the worst, you know. So, uh, anyway, when they begin, they were suspicious. So when they begin searching and things like that, they found out that what they found wasn't freight. It was 37 pounds of methamphetamine hidden inside the commercial vehicle itself. So authorities immediately arrested one individual at the scene, and the suspect he was booked into the Apache County Jail, and the methamphetamine was seized. it never made it to its destination. So it was they seized that, of course. Now, here's something that the general public needs to understand, okay? Most truck drivers, we're hardworking professionals. We try to do the right things. We try to, provide and give a better means of life for our family. That's the whole reason that we're out here on the road sacrificing and staying away from home, missing graduations, missing birthdays, things of that nature. And we spend a lot of long hours and a lot of time away from our family. But unfortunately, there are some uh, that have a different angle in mind. And what I've learned from this article alone is that criminal organizations, they know how we move as truck drivers, and sometimes they even recruit truck drivers. Now, I never thought about that. They recruit truck drivers, and sometimes they will hide the drugs and freight without the driver's knowledge. So that's something that you truckers want to be aware of too when you're going to these loads and picking up the freight and things of that nature. You kind of want to be cognizant and aware of your surroundings. And if something feels sketchy, it seems sketchy, you might want to call your dispatcher, or you might want to call your company and say, hey, I just got a bad feeling about this. you know I'm I'm just, it can't hurt to let somebody know, if you feel something is sketchy and not on the up and up. And sometimes the driver's in on it, but law enforcement, they're trained to look beyond simple traffic violations. That's the reason they stop you. They're looking for more each and every time. So that's why I don't understand why people drive and do certain things, because law enforcement is looking for the worst. They're paying attention to your behavior, your inconsistent answers, paperwork, cargo, and things like that. So, and going down Interstate 40, that's retarded to do that in the first place, because that's a heavily enforced area. Interstate 40, I don't know if most of you know this. Interstate 40 stretches all the way from California up into North Carolina. So that's a long stretch of highway, and it's a major route, for truckers. Almost all truckers have traveled down, Interstate 40 at some point in time in their career. Uh, and drug traffickers, they know this. So the next time you guys, the public, you see a semi truck rolling down the street, um, most of them are on the up and up. Most of them are helping contribute to the daily needs, your daily needs in your life. But every now and then, a routine traffic stop on a semi truck brings up some crazy, crazy stuff every now and then. So just be aware, you truckers, when you're going to pick up freight, don't be just be cognizant, man. Just be aware of your surroundings, of who you're interacting with. If something seems sketchy, don't be afraid to say, hey, call your dispatcher. At least you got a record of saying something. Hey, I don't feel right about this particular load. Something seemed wrong about the persons we were dealing with. You know, but at least you will have said something. And then that can be a part of the record to help. Just in case you do run into something that is crazy. Anyway, I just wanted to bring you that particular story. I thought it was interesting. I try to keep you informed, and we'll bring you different stories throughout the day, throughout the week. Try to get you, keep you informed of what's going on, road checks, different blitz that the DOT has going on. We try to keep you aware of those things, weather updates, things like that. We try to keep you aware of that. And this show is brought to you today by Karma Club, which is located on 20 Magsaysay Drive in Olongapo City. And it is the biggest super club in Olongapo. And if you're looking for an experience, not just somewhere to go to drink, but if you're looking for a total experience, then Karma is the place for you. You ought to check it out. You really should. It's an awesome place, guys. So, guys, you got to check out Karma Club. It's pretty exciting. I think the owner, Q Ellick, did a very, very good thing for the city, trying to bring them the American experience here to Alongapo to give that Miami vibe, um, and feel, and try to give people alternatives in their choices. And it's a lot of things that are being done at Karma. It's not just a club, guys. It's not just that. I mean, it's an awesome club, but that's not the only thing it's there for. It's an event center. You can do weddings. It's so huge. It can hold an extreme amount of people. So you can do weddings, anniversaries, graduations, and things like that. And right now they're having to just to show their appreciation to the city of Olongapo. They're doing they're allowing free events at the center, such as weddings and things like that. Um, so there's all kinds of rules and stipulations involved in that, but they're doing a lot of things to try to help the city, and also be a positive impact, you know, um, in the city of Olongapo. And I think that's very commendable, and I think that's very important. So, guys, thank you for listening to this segment, and we'll bring you more news and more information, more topics, not just trucking topics, but things that uh, are of interest. We'll bring them to you on a daily basis as well.